Hey guys, Ocularis86 here, coming at you from Tinfoil Gaming with another in our series of BDO for the Average Joe. Joining me today is our Average Joe, Sirius Pink, and my fiance. Everyone say hi to her, and Erica, if you would say hi to them.
Hi.
So what she's going to do is she's going to be the question person. She's going to ask the questions that you average Joes might have while I'm doing the video, because we have a tendency to skip over things that seem just, you know, we do on a constant anyway. So this is going to be a little bit more in-depth look at workers. If you haven't watched our original how to start workers video up, you should go ahead and check that one out. Unless you already know all that stuff, this is just gonna delve into that a little deeper. So when you're setting up workers on a node, you might notice that there are a lot of different options here, or a lot of different information that a lot of people just, you know, they don't pay attention to, or they skip over everything. I'm gonna explain what this stuff does and why it's important to you. The first one up here is going to be workload. Workload is super important because workload tells you how long it takes to accomplish a given task on that node. This one is 200, which means it takes 200 speed or 200 workload to finish that up. So that is 2 segments of 100 or 1 200 or 4 segments of 50, or however that works out. Now directly below that is work speed. That is your current selected worker's work speed on this node. So this goblin worker does it in 147, meaning it would take it 2 ticks or 2 times of working to finish this node, because 147 goes into 200 and it would take 2 times, right? This human worker has a work speed of 109, which is slower than that goblin worker, but would still accomplish the task in the same amount of time. The next one is distance. That is the distance that worker has to travel from where they are to the node. And distance increases the amount of time that it takes for you to get your node done, no matter where it is. Distance matters. See, these are all from Heidel here, and it takes 568 distance, and it's adding in X amount of time. But if we would take it from, say, Calpheon, and the distance would be 3,982 instead, it would take much longer for that same worker to do. Now, the next one is move speed. Move speed just tells you how fast your character gets from point A to point B. So that decreases or increases the time depending on what type of worker that you have on it. And then the last one is luck. Now, luck comes into play if you got a node that has more than one drop, like this flax farming node. The main drop for this is flax, of course. However, it has a special drop of flax thread. If you hover over the thing, it'll show you what the second drop is, right? And if you want that special drop to happen, the higher the luck, the higher chance of those specials dropping. Now, the basics with workers is your goblin workers are going to work the fastest, right? Goblin workers are the fastest at Artisan. As you can tell, their work speed is much faster than humans or giants. Their movement speed is also faster, but they use a lot of stamina, or they have very low stamina. That way, you have to keep up on them a lot more in order to keep them filled and in order to keep them working. Your second type are going to be humans, which are overall, humans are like a middle of the road kind of thing. They're not super slow, they're not super fast, their move speed is pretty adequate, but their luck is why they are super special. Workers have the highest luck out of any of the workers, and their stamina is also pretty good. So they're an average type of worker, except for they have really high luck. Now, giants have the lowest work speed. They have the lowest movement speed and a lower luck. However, their stamina is super high. You can put a giant on something and not have to worry about it for 12 or 14 hours, depending on where they are. And actually, some of the excavation sites, you can put them on there and not worry about them for almost a week. So, any questions so far, honey?
Okay, for each category, how often would you need to feed them beer?
Okay, so if you have an artisan worker on a close node that has, say, 200 worker load, an artisan goblin worker is going to run out of steam every close to 2 hours. It's going to be between an hour and a half and 2 hours. So a goblin worker would need fed every hour and a half to 2 hours, whereas a human worker would need fed roughly every 6 to 8 hours on that same node, and a giant worker would need fed every 12 to 14 hours on that node. Anything else?
Thank you. That's all.
Okay.
For right now.
So, once you get the type of worker that you want set up on the node, basically you're using the difference between the workload and the work speed to figure out which workers would work best on that node. And then the distance and movement speed are not as big of factors, but also remember how long you're going to have to log in. So if you're a constant on the game all the time, goblin workers are usually going to come out on top. However, if you're someone who leaves the computer for 8 hours, like say you like sleep, or maybe you have to work, those are going to be more humans, and they might even sway into giants depending on how long you are leaving the computer without being able to check back in on it. Something else that I wanted to go over in this video is going to be your promotion and your skill changes. Now, skills are things that your workers acquire every so often as they level up. As you can tell, this artisan giant worker has quite a few skills, but there are a couple of them that he has that I just don't have a need for. Now, here in Velia, I will never be making ore packaging because there's no point in doing ore packaging here in Velia. So what do you do with that once you get them up to level 30? Well, every time they would normally level up past 30, they get one of these here skill change things. As you can tell, some of these have them and some of them don't. When you click on that, it's going to bring up a skill change list. And all you have to do to change the skills of the workers is select and then confirm. And it will change that skill out for a brand new skill. And in this case, we changed it to tool knowledge, tool production work speed, which is actually more useful than ore packaging, but not by much. And as you can tell by scrolling down, you can see that a lot of people, once they hit level 30, these things just kind of stack up. But it's a way for you to customize and go a little bit further in depth with making your workers perfect for you. Another thing that I wanted to go over is promotions. Now, as they level up, they not only get the skill changes, they not only get new skills and whatnot, they also get these promotion attempts. Every 10 levels, a worker gets a new promotion attempt, and each worker only gets 3 promotion attempts before it can no longer get promoted. So if you're hiring professional or skilled workers, the reason why I say higher skilled or above in the last video is because you only get 3 chances at making these higher tier, and artisan workers are kind of your in-game goal with workers. And all you do to use the promotion attempt is click on the button. Now, something that you want to take into account when you're thinking about skill promotions is you don't want to do it as soon as they hit the levels. You want them to level up a little bit further. Like, I wait usually until level 27 or 28 before I even do their first promotion attempt. And the reason why I do that is because the luck of the worker does have an effect on how frequently that is passed or failed on their work. Because human workers tend to level up easier and more efficiently, or excuse me, advance quicker and more efficiently than anyone else. And the reason why is because they have a higher luck. So if you can wait until they're level 27, 28, 29, or even 30 until you start clicking these buttons, it's going to be better for the worker. Even though it's going to cost you more time, it will be well worth it in the long run. So once they get up high enough and you just click this promotion test, it'll give you a notice and it'll say, hey, it's going to be out for a day. It does take 24 hours for a promotion test. Or you can quickly, what is it? Make it go through, where is it? Oh, complete promotion. Okay, there's a new button that they added, that complete promotion. You can complete it by paying pearls. That's something that, you know, you have to decide for yourself whether you want to do it. But you can do that with any action. It's not just promotion tests. If you have a worker on, say, this wheat farming worker, I can click to complete his task as well. But we're not going to do that. Just letting you guys know that it is an option if you did want to not wait for 24 hours. So do you have any questions now, honey?
I do not.
No questions about workers. All right, guys. Well, that's the slightly more in-depth worker guide that I wanted to put out there for, and it gives you a little bit more overview on how workers work and what to do with workers. That way you can customize them to fit your needs. Thank you guys for checking out the video, and thank you for checking out all my other videos. You guys are amazing. And we are going to call it a day. Say bye, honey.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. I will catch you next time. And